Prem Sulavindravan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. Siddharam, everybody. Welcome to our how much? 19th session of our Bhagwat. As we are about to get going, let's all stand as we commence with arati. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam devam grahana devesham Trailokyatmirapaham.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती से है आरती भगवान की है आरती पापियों को फांसी है आरती भगवान की है आरती पापियों को वापसी है आरती मधुर बोल जगपन्न को Govinda Nanda Nanda Gopala Nanda Nanda Ananda Nanda Nanda Govinda Nanda Nanda Gopala Nanda Nanda Ananda Nanda Nanda Govinda Nanda Nanda Gopala
Om Gajananam
Bhutaganasevitam
Kapeta Jumbo
Palicharabakshitam
Umasutam Sho
Avinashikarikam
Namami Viganeshwara
Parapankajam
Sarvamangalamangaliye
Shive Sarvadasarike
Sharanye
Trambike Gauri
Narayani
Namostute
Guru Brahma
Guru Vishnu
Guru Devo
Maheshwara
Guru Sakshat
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Guruve Namaha
Prem Sabalavindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, please have your seats. Last night we did the discourse that dealt with the bringing back the son of the Guru of Lord Krishna, where that was the Guru Dakshina that is requested. Then we hear about Devaki wanting her blessing, so that she must be able to feed her babies that had died. We heard that horrendous and horrible experience of being born and then being murdered, it wasn't just like that. It was because of something these boys had done previously, previous birth. And it wasn't, again, something physical, but how they were thinking. Imagine how many times me and you might sit down in a maxi, in a taxi, in a place, watch somebody, and if at a minimum, think back school days, adult days, home side, public places, When you within yourself, that is the shirt, that is how you go look, that is how you go talk. Maybe the person have a funny way of speaking, or a lisp, or some deformity. Deformity. In today's society, you have a lot of sensitivity, now more than before. Remember a time when people used to laugh at people who had different mental, special needs, special abilities? It wasn't something cool to have a wheelchair, or to have crutches, or to have polio for the older people. There are still people in this world that are not vaccinated against polio in parts of India, rural areas, where people have, in America, where people have an issue with vaccination on the whole. Some people, because of inbreeding and family choices of who to marry who, you have a high rank and file of genetic disorder. So here come now deformities in their body. So somebody's head might be a little warped or a different design, not the normal size. The person eye, the person ears, you know what I'm talking about. People used to attack people still till today. Why your teeth have to look so? Why your face have to look so? And you ridicule somebody. And that is what we know about. That is what we hear with our ears from a bully. And I'm saying it from this perspective. Because if your child, because of whatever is happening home, your child goes to school and says these things and does these things, we need to put a stop to it. As Hindus, when you see bullying in any form, don't laugh at the joke. Somebody fall, that's not funny. Don't laugh at the joke. No, the example that you set. You know, it come like, we all have children, and children say, remember that show, children say the darndest things? Children say things and you wonder where you pick up that from. Where you get that from. And it's so cute. And they say in the curse word, they say in everything. Everybody goes through that point where I can't believe you just said that. And laugh. But the catch with that is, when mommy or daddy laugh, the little brain thinks, well, look, mommy laugh. This is okay. This is right. This is okay. If she had a problem, she would have react. She would have tell me, don't do it. Don't say that again. So now, with a better understanding, because nowadays, parents are a little more sensitive to the language, to the name calling, to the different things. Hopefully, racial words, prejudicial words don't find its way into the mouth or the home of a Hindu. Should be one of the things we are trying to get to. When you start to break down women, all women drivers are bad. It might sound funny, but children are listening. When you start a fight between brother and brother, that is what they are watching. That is the example. As we've been listening time and time again, there are demons in everybody's life. Sometimes as a pundit, when people come to talk or to check patra or whatever it be, most of the time to talk, a person is, I agree, a person would only be sensitive to the life experience they have. But imagine if you could sit next to your Baba and listen in one day, 10 people come with 10 stories. And what is the similarity in those 10 people's story? Bad, this happened to me. And I don't know how to deal with it. Somebody could say, well, I just drink plenty, I just gamble, I doesn't want to go home. It have some people that are so unhappy, they have everything. They have the house, but I just feel as if the house biting me, because when I go home, I am not comfortable, I'm not happy. Because of the nature of my marriage, yes, I'm married. I sure it have people who, God, when you go send somebody for me, when I'll get married, and then you meet somebody who, yes, have married, they did the big wedding, the big ceremony, but suffering because of how people talk to each other. Let me just say that. Nobody had cheated, no, nothing like that. But if I do not have respect for the person I'm married to. What sense it make? That is why in Hinduism, husband and wife come to do prayers. Make sure. In our Dharma, it preaches that it have one captain in a ship. We could discuss, we could consult. It says in the vows, you remember that part? I expect you to consult with me and get my permission before you lend money, give money, etc. How it is work in Hinduism, I don't know how it works in your house. The man have his pride, so you know how to talk to the boss. But behind closed doors, he could really go and take out $2,000 and go and give somebody it. It's like we just be talking these things that just hold up the little ego. But the lady is the one who just remember truthfully the password for the card or for the online banking or the procedure on the whole. And she would still come just like how Parvati Mata does it with Lord Shiva. She knows very well what she wants to do. But to inflate the ego and for peace in the house. We think, boy, and you feel we should give 2 pounds of pumpkin to the prayers? And without saying it, this is what I want to do. I want to give 2 pounds of pumpkin to the prayers. What the man is going to come back and say most of the time is, well, yeah, that's some good idea, real good idea. The lady is in text, when you hear in Bhagwat, they talk about Mohini Devi. Something about this lady, when she talks, I just always say, my grandmother used to mama guy. This lady had this way of talking. I don't know your experience at home violin all the time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Babe, you is the best child. You is my favorite grandson. And you now taking chin up. Mommy has an extra sweetness in her mouth. And it is used as a tool, truthfully. Words make a difference. Everything I say in words make a difference. And if you see the good in it, look at the art and the artistry of when your wife could prop up the husband, not break the home. Nobody's perfect. If you're telling me, my husband this, my husband that, my husband the other, that is true, he really that. 10 to 1, he really have that problem. But I'm sure you're telling me he has some good in him too. It have to have a, yes, there is a point where the pundit will say, hey boy, you're drinking too much, stop it now. But it have ways that you could prevent that trouble from coming. People drink for a reason. I sure if we do a survey and we ask every drunkard that does not want to go home after work is hit the bar or go by friend, it is have reason for that. It is have 2 sides to every story. So Bhagavad Dharma doesn't only talk about guy, you who drinking, stop it. You who doing wrong, stop it. For the lady to use the strength of your words. And instead of breaking your house and causing trouble, use the same speech to find a way to bridge, to build and make, because it have prayers that's supposed to be like a house. When you say Griha Pravesh translates not to do puja in your house, but to warm the house. Truthfully, house warming puja is what we just be doing. Dear God, the place starting, the house, the energy, the light. Imagine a deer, how one burning in the house. The house is getting cold. The energy is going out. The deer light is getting dull. I want to charge it back. So I'm going to put things like the little gauri that we just put on the baby when the prayer is finished, mix it in water, and mop out the house. The reason we lipe, Lakshmi Mata sits in the gobar and Brahma tell her when they was going to call Krishna, Mother, this is the only part of the cow we have remaining to offer you a seat. If you sit here from today onwards, when people have devatas to call Bedi Puja, we'll be going to Stapan, Karya Murti, whatever it is. That place where you want the devata to sit cannot happen, cannot be if gobar is not smeared. So when you go to your next funeral, or the wedding, and you see, for example, in the funeral, they take the gobar and they smear under the box, they're going to call God there, one. The poor fixing the kalsa with the dan, etc. in a traditional wedding. If it's just registration, well, you got that. Protect is the next step. So he tells that not only to, to make the place come clean, spiritually clean, But if it have people with bad intention, if it have unrested soul, if it have any entity that would interrupt or cause trouble to interrupt that prayer, Mother, by your presence, push that away. So this now is why when you finish doing the worship for the Gauri, Mother, I call you, sit in this gobar, take sindur, take saffron, take flowers, take arati, puja, finish. Take that gobar, as small as it is, a bucket of water. You're not going to smell nothing, you're not going to see anything, truthfully. And you take from, let me just say, the back of your house, meaning as we go in from the front door to the back wall, come this way. As if we're running a mosquito, for children to understand, are going in one direction. Wherever the gobar is, bad things and bad people cannot come. It is one of the tools that people use. They put a little bit by the window sill. They put it in their floor, in their place. People who are bandits cannot come. It is one of the main ingredients in Sai Baba's basma. Because when in India, they can't keep cutting down tree like we. They have so many cows. And all gobar is processed grass. So you lay it dry. What you call a cowrie. When people have Surya problems, you take the gobar packet, let me imagine like a burger. How a burger patty looks. Leave it in the sun for days, lay it dry, it'll get light like a biscuit. And when you go to burn it, that time it doesn't have no smoke, it's very clean. As I said, it's really grass. When that basma finish, when you have wood to burn, it has chunks of wood in it. But when basma burn, you see the consistency of baby's powder, how it's silky smooth. That is what gives Sai Baba's vibhuti that texture. So now you take the sitaram, you take the gobar and you put different oil in it, and when it burns, you take that and somebody will understand if I bathe with it, they'll drink it. But now we are talking about mopping up. Let me just say you take it and you put it now to wash out the yard. And because of the Lakshmi's presence, were you afraid the bandit will come in the yard, afraid somebody go watch when we open the gate, etc. This is the world you're living in. And if you use your prayers appropriately, if you follow me, then you tell me, okay, if I do my prayers, then I could safeguard myself in real life. So people does. There are some people, because of where they live, they would wash their car with a little bit of gobar, just to not allow people to be envy. Because where does banditry start? What gets into a person's mind? Like if we had to do a satsang, we understand the mind of a charitable person. We understand the mind, the prerogative, the prayer of a mother. We understand the mind and prayer of a father, the focus of this individual. Each person is different. The pundit comes to the house to bless the house. He has a different mindset. When the bandit comes to the house, what brings him there? If you think about it, it starts with envy. It starts with a certain amount of why you had to have this and I didn't. Because if I had this, 10 to 1, I wouldn't need yours. And this is where now, going back to what we've been reading in Bhagwat, in this Kali Yuga, this envy and jealousy mentality, living and breathing and shooting out this type of corruption in their mind. I could go there quick and I'll get it. They will see in their mind how to jump the fence, how to get the gun, who to kill, who not to kill. That type of thought is like you have a different level of gyan, where you think a person cannot fit in a nook and cranny. They will see and find a way to get there. So you now, the religious and the person that believes in your God, you're utilizing this example, the gobar, to give you that added protection, because this is the world you're living in. If we don't get up and say we prayers and try, then what you're telling the person, well, if you come for me, the front door open. Come in. Vindravan Bihari Lala ki, Sitaram, Sitaram. Put your hands together as we do our Samiran this morning before we get into our discourse. Redhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadhana Varana Varana Sumiro Varamvar Madana Kadana Kelalaka
गणपति कृपा निधान ज्ञान गाने आनंद भवन देहु मोहि वरदान वरना भाषा भागवत जय शिवानंद का भोजनाथ भव दय हरना भाग्य विषय निर्वाण गौरवदन मंगल चरणा ब्रज चंद्र मुकुंद ब्रजभूषण दूषण हरना कतहु भव भय बंद चरण शरण रियान करा जय जय जगदीश सेवत शेष महेश महिमा मित देव वीर वीर जानत लहे वेद सेति दाता सेति सदन वारन वदना सुमिरो बारंबार मदन कदन की लाल को सुमिरो बारंबार
Madana Kadana Kelalaka. Last night when I was talking, I mentioned that one of the things that Vasudev, father of Krishna, does, he utilizes Navratri Vrat to get back Krishna. Krishna, after, there's the rule that when Ganesh Baba birthday come, you have to be very careful with that moon, that full moon. In fact, the rule says just to remind you, if I happen to watch the full moon on that Ganesh Jayanti, the Ganesh Chaturthi, I'm going to inherit blame for 1 year. False accusation, a lot of blame. For that reason, Hindus don't really have the habit of looking at the full moon. If you do, please remember the corrective step is to chant some Ganesh mantra to counteract the tendency to be blamed very quickly, very easily for things that really did not affect or come from your action, your thought, your deed, but still you're going to get blamed. Krishna Bhagwan he's guilty of looking at the moon. He saw the moon and he didn't do corrective prayer. So there comes a point, and this is in Bhagwat, where he's falsely accused of stealing this man's, he had a blessed gem. For our purpose, just imagine a big pendant. And it was as if it was a Devata's gift, Surya Narayan's gift to this particular man. But everybody thought, well, the man went missing, an animal had killed him. Everybody thought, well, this lustrous gift, Krishna had to kill him. From nothing. They had no interaction, no argument. But just like that, immediately now, this accusation is made. He had to kill him. That gem was too pretty, too big. Krishna do it. The same people that we say loved him in his city of Dwarka is now damning him. So Krishna has to go see Dharam. Krishna has to go and find the man to clear his name. So he goes into the forest area and he finds what was the man, but the gem is missing. Going further, where a bear is living, in the cave of the bear, a little child is playing with the gem, catching it. So when Krishna went to grab the gem, that part, that conversation in Bhagwat, and I would have shared it going back then, When you look at the moon, there's a mantra to say to overcome that blame. Please remember this. That mantra is found when Krishna is going to touch this child, this bear, well, the child of the bear, to get the gem, and the nurse says something. PCJ Avan parked on this side here. Yeah? We need to just shift it. The person want to come out. When he goes to touch the child, the father comes out. The bear, half man, comes out and he attacks Krishna. Why are you touching my child? And they fight for what would have been 10 days. This bear is the Jamun we were talking about in Ramayana. Jamun who tells Hanuman in the beginning of Sundarkan, but you have the ability to cross this ocean. You could grow and develop and make this journey. That same Jamun, when Ram Gita is chanted in Ramayana, Tulsi Ramayana, and the question comes, Prabhu, what do you want me to do? Hanuman, you stay on earth, be Chiranjeevi, long life, near immortal, and wait. One day I will come to play with you, test you, show you my figure, my form. All right, Prabhu, I'll do your bidding. Now Jamun says, Prabhu, you know what I wish? I wish I could test your strength. I am an old warrior, and I know my power is great, but I never got to fight you. I want to see who is more strong, me or you. Says, okay, that way I want. In my next janam, I will come and me and you will fight. I will not tell you who I am. But you will discover it as we fight goes, and you'll have the answer to your question. This moment comes, Jamun rush Krishna, but he does not realize that is Vishnu Bhagwan standing there, Ram. So in the battle, and they go in and they fight and push and pull. At one point, coming to the end of the battle now, Krishna takes the form of Ram. And when Jamun saw it, he let go and he started to cry. Prabhu, I didn't know it was you. Feel bad. He said, but this is what you wanted. I just fulfilling your desire. Anything you ask me for, I will give you it. Going back to the statement, nothing is too hard to give my devotee. He says, Prabhu, let me ask you for one more thing. The blessing for a father is, there are many things a person can get blessed for, but to give a good daughter in marriage is incomparable. The role of this lady, when she comes into the family, if they have no training, if they have no bringing, they have no type of, devotion in that house, any tradition, nothing, she will come with training from father's side and come in this house and straighten them. That becomes her role. When I went in my mother-in-law house, them is to never do this, is to never shine the terrier, little things to big things. This is how the father gets his blessing. One day somebody will say, well, who is that girl? That is Roger and Doll daughter. She come with all the training, so that girl could cook. So she does help she mother-in-law. So she does train she children. She don't play with the homework, the school, all the activities. She not derelict. She knows she has something to do. She'll get down and do it. He gets this request that, please, I am Jamun. I have a daughter named Jamunti. Please accept her as your consort. And Krishna, as a king, because of what you have to understand, people say, Sitaram, people say he got married to many people. I hinted last night, the discourse with Narakasur. But in those days, marriage is a tool for peace. It is not just love marriage. I see somebody and I like them and I love them and I get married. One, we have as Hindus 8 different type of wedding, marriage. One of the type of wedding is done when I conquer area and I become the king of the area, to live good with the people, to have good relations and not uprising. The new king gets married, let me say I displace this person. One political party beat the other political party in today's language, right? To keep the peace and to keep the people from rioting. In today's world, we are very civilized. We accept the rule of law. And have an election, we accept and we abide by it. In different times, people never accepted nothing. You win, and I'm going to plot to overthrow your side. So to keep the peace, when I become the ruler, I am going to take the previous ruler, daughter or niece or somebody, as a wife. And he did this, getting different people married to him. In total, he truly has 8 wives from the districts that he governed. But Jamun becoming the 8th, the last one, it wasn't from a district. It was because of this request of Jamun comes because of Jamun. So when he did get married, Vasudev finishes, as I said last night, he does the Purnahoti coconut in the fire, and he's saying the closing mantra, "Dear mother, I don't know where my son is, please send back my son for me." As he finished the prayers, Krishna and Jamun walked through the door. For this reason, Janbi Jai, who is the person listening to Devi Bhagwat, do your Navratri Brat. It could work for you. That was the logic of giving that discourse there in that text. Jamanti comes and joins the family. And she's watching Rukmani, she's watching all the wives that were there before. Everybody's having one child, one son. Krishna as a father is very happy, he's very proud, and he's seen his family expand. Jamanti wants to have a child. So she says, "Prabhu, I see how Rukmani's son fills your heart. Could you do a praise? Could we do something? I don't know. You know. You're the leader of the ship. I am supporting you. I am willing to pray with you so that we could get a powerful child as well, a purposeful child as well." All right? He says, "I'll take up that book." And he goes, and just as how we do in Shravan Puja, Shiv Puja, Lord Krishna goes to listen to somebody called Upamanyu and spend a long time learning about Mahadev Baba, learning about his prayers, his worship, the ins and outs. For example, if I offer, I don't know if you notice, Bill Ashtakam talks about the bay leaf. If I offer broken bay leaf, I damage, what's the karmic reaction? I get damaged eyes. As a Hindu, remember, this is a principle that if you are offering something in prayers, offer good stuff, clean stuff. Don't offer, "I have 1,000,000 bay leaf, 1,000,000,000,000 bay leaf on the lingam, watch what I doing, plenty bay leaf coming," but you are offering practically garbage. It's broken, it's tattered, it's torn. Then all you're doing, you're offering a leaf. But it is as if what you are doing is inheriting sin. In this example, this is an example. I'm not saying that, yes, it could be that my hand break it off. That is one way. But imagine sometime when the season change, Sitaram, and the leaf naturally come with a hole, a tear, etc. That is a flaw as well. So when you hear somebody say, "I'm fixing my bail, I'm going to do Shiv Puja, Shivratri Puja, whatsoever," you will see the person hold up the leaf and inspect the leaf. Three pieces, okay, connected, no holes, no tears, whatever. Because how you offer is so you get. I'm going to offer one good one rather than 108 bad one. That is applicable to the lingam as well as into the havan for people who just dip the bail in ghee and so on and offer. When Krishna is sitting with Upamanyu, and this person is not only proficient in Lord Shiva Puja, but he's very good in terms of understanding the love for Lord Shiva. It have some people will do Lord Shiva Puja, good, normal. And then it have some people, they put a lot of effort and energy because they love him. Only somebody who loves something could understand what that love feel like. For example, let me just say you have eat tambran ball in a very long time, and so I like this sour thing. And my mother used to make this thing. My grandmother used to make chili baby, and oh God, I never get it. I live abroad and I come home and I grieving for it. And you get it. You alone gonna know how you enjoy that. Somebody gonna say, yeah, boy, I know, tambran nice. But they will never understand the joy you have. Likewise, if you watch it from the perspective, Yashoda loved her son. And people say, yeah, your son nice. I love him too. But you really feel they're going to love the child the same way like you? What we were saying the other day is that love also comes with a lot of patience, a lot of understanding that God give you that as a gift. When he say, okay, have the child, God bless it, what came with it is how to understand the child, how to deal with the child. If you love your husband, tell your husband. He had this flaw, that flaw, he does gown, he does this, he does that. But something when you get that gift from God, he does also come with prescription. Feed him first, then talk to him. Give me coffee in the morning. He really foolish around full moon time. Give him a little ease. Don't interfere with the mother and his sister and them. Every lady will tell you, I understand the child. I understand he, don't worry. He just borrow a little bit. Give him a little chance. And then you're going to hear, right, you're surviving. You're living. Because I learned the art of living. You know, it had the Franz Swami just talk about that, the art of living. What you're doing, how you learn the art of living, you learn the art of God. You're seeing how he playing, so you now stop getting so anxious. When somebody anxious and they vex and they vex and they don't know what they vex for, it's because you can't explain what's going on. But if you could see the hand of God testing you, stressing you out, and then I know how to fix it, what you're getting anxious for? And it means I just have to have a little patience, this could pass. Similar press, have patience again, and just now this could pass. Just now we go overcome it. And in that kind of conversation, because test is nice. It is how some days you really wonder which way is up. The person could survive. Upamanyu teaches Krishna that if you use Shiva and Shiv Puja as a tool, you will survive. You'll get where you want. And Krishna learn. Krishna does prayers until such time Lord Shiva come and appear in front of him. And he says, oh, Krishna Baba, you could have just tell me what you want. Look at who you are. Why are you bothering to do all these prayers like a normal person? He says, just what he's saying, Gita. What great people do, what people, let me say, influential people, the mother, the father, what great people do, normal people like children, grandchildren will emulate. You ever hear people say, well, my mother-in-law used to shine the bharatan this way. In our family, we just make sure and light 9 dias on Diwali night, 8 dias, whatsoever. But the tradition, when we go into offer with Durga Dar, we make a big bucket of Dar upon it, and all of us offer one lota. It is part of our tradition for Navratri. You learn by what you see, not necessarily by what I hear them people is do. You will still internally question it. Upon it, I hear people saying at Dig Mass, if you touch the Gita, you're going to burn in hell. You're going to question it. You're going to hear things. You're going to ask for validation. But when your mother do something, you're going to question that. That is how it is done. Somebody could say this is the way to make lapsi, modak, whatever. That is how it is done. No question now. And that is the power of the example that you lead. As your rule. God give you that rule. Sit down. Think about who you are, not to yourself now, you know. Think of what you are to somebody else. I see Tanti tie the dhoti so. I see Tanti put the orni on she head so. I see she just make the mala so. That is where I'm going to do. When, Sitaram, everybody, when Upamanyu full Krishna and he was ready for Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva did come. Lord Shiva come now and telling him, why you bothering me with all of this? If you just tell me where you want that, I'll send it for you. He said, no, I wanted the joy of doing your prayers. Again, only the person who enjoy doing prayers, enjoy doing Shiv Puja, fasting for Shivratri, waking out Shivratri. Check yourself. You ever wake out whole night and you wake up the next morning and like, you're ready to sleep yet. Whole night, 12, 1, 2, 3. You see that hour? You wanted dead with sleep. But when 4, 5, 6 come, you're starting to get a little more bright. Like I can't shut down now. 10, 11, and you can't sleep. It's as if you're ready for rest. And the person doesn't feel sluggish, but they tend to feel, I'll get through it one more year. I do it. I get through. I feel good. And that sense of accomplishment, when you complete your yag, when you do your prayer, when you do your puja in your house, small puja, and you put up your flag and you go and you watch your flag outside, I get through, boy. With that mentality, that positive, you'll get what you're looking for. Lord Shiva, what I come to ask you for is that I would like to have a son that has purpose. I want a son that is powerful like you and would aid me in my work. Lord Shiva said, no problem. I will come as your son. And Krishna leaves and he comes back, and Jamunti gets pregnant as time passes, and that child that was born is called Samba. Samba the dance. Samba. When you hear people say Samba Sadashiva, one of his forms is Samba. But this boy is trouble. This is not the good behaved son. Krishna beat this boy. Krishna gave shrap to this boy because of his attitude. It's a nice discourse. Let me hear how the weapon that destroys Krishna, how it was made. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Evam Vyasi Torajan Satya Kalpayesu Dharmayetam Sanjaya Ho Swaya Kulve Bhava Swamritya Lokya Mrityayatam Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
This child is born. This child is born and he's growing up good. Parents trying to give the best. But something about this child, he has a very snap, a very sharp tongue, very insultive, very sarcastic. And no matter what licks, what training, doesn't cut it out. Everything is, I will test, I will test, I will test. Anytime Lord Shiva take a form, watch it, Hanuman Durvasa, now Samba, is testing, always testing. When people call him Jagat Guru, World Guru, the World Guru, he's the world tester. So the boy now wants to play tricks and games on everybody. So Krishna had called this big assembly of pundits, starts to see bad signs. He knows that he has to leave the earth. The end of Krishna Leela is coming. And he calls all the munis them to discuss what is Kali Yuga, what will it be like, what will people do, how will mankind be in this time. So imagine everybody walk in the assembly hall, the men them close the door, they lock the door. The children, Christians' children, the nieces, the nephews, these are playing outside, running up and down. And they're waiting, they're primed. They want to test the money on them to see if them pundit really have some spiritual power. To see if it real them. Brahmanena Vadanalitya बुधये सेवक नाम्यः वशिष्ठ मुनिये यातम वशिष्ठ मुनि ये यातम कथम विष्णवे कृतयातम जय भोले बाबा तव शरणम जय भोले बाबा
तव शरणम जय भोले बाबा तव शरणम जय श्याम सदा शिव तव शरणम जय श्याम सदा शिव तव शरणम.
The son of Jamanti goes and dresses as a girl, hides his true nature, who he is as a boy, puts a pillow under the dress, looks pregnant, and all the munis, Vishwamitra, Asita, Kanva, Durvasa, Brigu, all these people are in this hall. And everybody is respectful. The meeting is going on. Don't make noise. But Samba is different. And he waits. As they are coming out, he catches hold of one of them. And he says, Muni, if you are real, if your powers are true, if you could really see into the future and you could see all this, then tell me, Muni, am I having a boy? The big belly. Am I having a girl? What will I have? Vashish Muni gets very upset with this test, with this insult. And he says, you're going to make a weapon. You're going to make a mortar and a pestle. And this mortar and pestle will be the end of your entire family. You will be the downfall of your entire race. Remember, this is the son of Krishna. So if he's the downfall of his race, look who he's talking about. Evam prakalye ati kutaye kripaye ye atau mandira ho sakalayati Vishwanath yekam Krishnati Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam
Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam
Jaya Shama Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. You could imagine the fear. All the munis are standing, Vashish in front, and when Vashish said what he said, all the other senior pundit, look where you're going to do. Look where your attitude, your disrespectful nature, look where you're going to do. We was having a conversation to help and to bring good. And now look what your actions, look where your thought bring on your own family. Look at what your initiative, instead of being humble, maybe Sitaram, maybe Pranam, maybe I could have bowed and act appropriately. Look at what you're going and do. Bhagwat Gita says, if you want to know who is a tamasic or not tamasic, demonic person, one of the traits of a demonic person is that they never know what is the right thing to do at the right moment. They always kind of stand out odd. They always behave in an odd way. They might say good morning in the night time. If you understand, in a simple example. They don't know when to be compassionate. They don't know when to have a little empathy. This is not about me, this is about you. You're going through something. I just want to listen to you today. I don't want to buff. I don't want to tell you, you see, and I tell you that it work. Sometimes it's just to hold back, and I tell you that will happen. But when the person want to always show I and I right, then you could be a little callous and a little cold, a little cruel to the person that's going through something. You just see it a lot when somebody have a death in the family, and it's like the person cannot get burned or moved off fast enough. What we doing for the bandara? Which is the pundit? I could bring Budus, the person now die. So it seemed a little cruel, it seemed a little harsh. It is correct, we have to make that plan, but what's the problem? The timing. The timing is the problem. This is just a little example of how demonic people, what Gita talks about, this is a mistake they make. They miss the moment. You walk into the temple, that's the moment, it's a sitara. You go to prayers, that's the time to bow your head. It have a time and place for everything. You ask God, bless my decision. When you bow, bless my equipment to make the proper decision in a moment, what is to be done and what is not to be done. I jump in the car, that's the time to pull the seat belt. That's the time to touch my little murti. When I reach in front of the traffic light, when I see red, that is the time to stop. Don't tell yourself that's the time to go. You're going to have a little problem. But in these examples, it have many more you could imagine, that people does not know what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do. This child in this moment, when he moved the sari and he watched on top the pillow on the belly, truthfully a metal pestle, metal mortar. But feels bad, runs away, scampering away. The older cousin, the older brothers, Samba, you're always causing trouble. Look where you're going and do now. And not only you going to pay for this, but you are saying that all of us are in trouble. All of us are implicated in this thing. Because of your mockery and trying to humiliate people that use Gayatri mantra, now everybody's life in this family is at risk because of you. And the sensible thing to do would be to run and go and tell Krishna. Krishna, this is the mistake I made. I fess up, I did it. Between me and you, nobody else had to know. Me and you would have do that. We'd have go and talk to God and ask for forgiveness. Nothing wrong. People do make mistakes. Watch what this fella do. I can't go and tell my father this. And out of fear, guide your decision, don't communicate, hold it, that will solve the problem. Keep it a secret, that will solve the problem. Go on to tell old Ugrasen, this is what happened, this is the curse that come, what to do. Ugrasen, the best knowledge, he said, send it to the blacksmith. The person who know how to work steel, grind it into dust. When it's in dust, it ever be in a way to damage anybody. The person really grind and shave and shave and shave. Without the modern equipment, you could imagine the effort to bring that into powder. Take it from powder now. It have a big pond in the back of the palace. Go and spread that metal shavings in that pond. If it's spread in the pond and mix in water, there's no way that will manifest into some weapon that could destroy our family. Still didn't go and tell Krishna nothing. One of the reasons why Samba doesn't want to go to Krishna would solve the problem. Krishna would be the person, it have some people, the buck stop with them. And without any delay, they handle the crisis, they make the decision with the guidance of God. I could make in the most horrific moment, tough decisions to save somebody or to help them. Let me just say I'm a first responder. The people that when, like Jay Daddy is a fireman, when the house burning down, everybody wants to back away. But these people, God bless them, they run into the fire. Somebody shooting a gun, a policeman runs into the line of fire. Me and you will do prayers, we got to do Bhagwat, we got to do Gaudan. People like them, Puran says, if you want to walk through, the house of Yamraj is a box, 4 walls, 4 doors, and depending on the caliber of your soul, you choose a door. If the person is the highest caliber of soul, the person takes the form of Lord Vishnu himself. Not that I attain Vishnu, I become Vishnu. I look like him. Like when we were talking about the Ajamil discourse and the Vishnu Dut and the Yam Dut. The Yamraj Dut or workers are saying, look, Lord Vishnu, copy. So many of them looking like this. How you get that? He says, well, the person who fasts for Ekadasi, the person who worship Tulsi, all right? The person who dies in the protection of innocence, the person who dies in the conduct of their duty, the person who the person who saves another individual but loses themselves. So imagine somebody, you hear it every day, the Coast Guard drunk, the police got shot, the fire person got damaged, they suffocated, they taking too much smoke, and they lost their life. Those people, because of the nature, the nature of their life, the quality of the sacrifice they make, they find liberation. They get that mukti that they're looking for based on their life. We, on the other hand, Sitaram, we, on the other hand, just like this boy, you take your life and you're only making sin. So what happened was when they throw the powder on the surface of the water, you know, like sometimes the reed, the natural, I don't know how you call that plant, but the reed, the bush that growing on the bank where the water meet the bank, that plant started to suck up this metal. In that moment, if a person who is a Yadhu member, a Yadhu clan member, part of that family touch this reed, it's going to transform from a bendable, soft, grassy nature type of plant into adamantium type steel, unbendable, unbreakable, based on the curse. Then hunters started to fish in the pond and they were getting fish that had metal lumps in the belly. So when they take out the lump now, they say, wow, perfect size for arrowhead. And they fashion the metal that the fish was gobbling up and in filtering food was storing in its body. They took the reed as the body of the arrow and the head of the arrow now formed. This is the weapon. This is the secret of how the weapon is formed that will destroy not only Christian, but the Yadhu dynasty on the whole. This is how, when last night I was telling you about Dhritarashtra is the blind king, Pandu is Arjun's father, Pandava's father. His brother is the blind king. The blind king is married to Gandhari. In the TV show, she's always wearing like a blindfold over her eyes. That person, when the war was done and all her sons are dead, and she's crying and she blames Krishna, she says, you could have stopped this war at any time. But you allow this to happen today as a grieving mother. I put trap on you. You will live to see all your family. Sitaram, all your family will die. Each one of them will be destroyed and you will have to live to see it. In some Chepa Katha, like Suksagar, in a different book, but it is not Bhagwat, it is not Mahabharata. So let me just say an illustration. Somebody asked me about it yesterday. That one teardrop fell from Gandhari onto Krishna. And she says, just as how this teardrop fall on you, you will not gain. You see that part one now say in dying in the duty of protecting people. When the king go to war as a Kshatri and he fighting for the protection of the normal average person in the city, that politician is going to get liberation. But Gandhari says, do not die in that way. Do not go as a valorous end. Do not die like that. You will die like a meager nobody. Nobody will be present. Nobody will know. Nobody will be aware. When Sri Ram gives up his form, the entire Suryo River, the banks on either side is full with people. People witness his death. But till today, there are different texts that will tell you Krishna left the earth this way, Krishna left the earth that way. There are different teaching. Bhagwat has one. In our next session, I will go through it with you. But understand this, why it had to happen like this, what you're going to hear, because of the shrap that he gets twofold. from Gandhari, that you will live to see a family be destroyed, and the second one, you will die secret by yourself. Vindravan Biharilala ki jai. Let's all stand as we do arati, as we've come to the end of this, right? Huh? We are do Hawan. All right, we're going to chant it. Jerry, you want to sing a song? Achutam Kisma. We're going to do Hawan now before do arati. Katha going to sweet. And then we'll do arati. I have Jade this morning, Miss Jaisari. Miss Jaisari is going to give us a little chant. And then Vishal is going to give us a little chant. And Miss Jenna going to do her one. Yeah, keep the mic away from that box, so hold it so. Sitaram, Sitaram. Keep your mic up like that. Huh? You go ahead. There we go one. There we go. Same one. Ganesha Sharan. Hold on, mic. While she looking for Shisha. All right, everybody, join with me. Our Pandit Varun is going to help me sing. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Hold off on the drum. We just sing. We just sing. We just going easy. Together, let me go. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam
Sharanam Ganesha
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha
Shri Rama Sharanam. Everybody help him.
Shri Rama Sharanam Sharanam Shri Rama
Shri Rama Sharanam Sharanam Shri Rama
Shri Rama Sharanam Sharanam Shri Rama
Shri Rama Sharanam
Sharanam Shri Rama
Shri Rama Sharanam
Sharanam Shri Rama
Shri Rama Sharanam
Sharanam Shri Rama
Shri Rama Sharanam
Sharanam Shri Rama
Ganesha
Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Shri Rama Sharanam Sharanam Shri Rama 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 Shri Rama Sharanam Sharanam Sri Rama, Sri Rama Sharanam, Sharanam Sri Rama,
There you go.
Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha, 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 Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha.
Prem se bolo Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Pandit Varun, first Bhagwat. First Bhagwat. Everybody give him a round of applause. Good job, Baba. God bless you. Just now you're going to come up here and you're going to make me proud. Keep it up. My dear, give me a nice something. Sitaram. If you want to sing that same Tulsi song for me, yeah, the copy. Tulsi. Huh? You have it? It here? Where's where Wesley? Well, then bring it because they're still doing Howard. All right, JD, you start while them settling down the Celtic.
Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Keshava Hari Govinda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Keshava Hari Govinda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Giridhari Vanamali Muralidhari Govardhana Giridhari Natanatakaramakana Chori Gopi Manahari Natanatakaramakana Chori Gopi Manahari Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Gowri Gokul ke pyare Gowri Gokul ke pyare Gowri Kanhari Gokul ke pyare Gowri Kanhari Gokul ke pyare Gowri Nachori Rasa Chauri Gowri Nachori Rasa Chauri Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Keshava Hari Govinda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Keshava Hari Govinda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda Hari Narayana Hari Om
Very good, James. Sitaram, Sitaram, everybody. Nan put them, hold your hand, make sure. Right.
धसमाए से रहे जब गब तब ही है, तब ही तुम प्राम किया मैं बाहर हो हरि बाती करो ते ही कारण लोग बैठो किया एक ही जगत में भूल ही गयो के ही कारण लोग बैठो किया कभी जी हरि में मन जीत करो भजु राम सिया तो जन्म में आ राम मीनन सिया राम मीनन राम मीनन सिया राम मीनन राम मीनन कब हो अंडसवाला गिररी हरियो राम मीनन कब हो अंडसवाला गिररी हरियो राम मीनन कब हो अंडसवाला गिररी आहै दिया रचुआ में नियन बहिया दिया रचुआ में नियन बहिया बब की बंद चली हो बब की बंद चली अंडसवाला गिरेरी हरियो राम मीनन कब होय अंडसवाला गिरेरी हरियो राम मीनन कब होय अंडसवाला गिरेरी आहै वीर पुराण ग्रंथ बहुरंजन वीर पुराण ग्रंथ बहुरंजन पाप निराज चली ओ पाप विराज चली अंडसवाला गिरेरी हरियो राम मिलन कब होय अंडसवाला गिरेरी हरियो राम मिलन कब होय अंडसवाला गिरेरी आहै बाप ने सी मेरी जीवन निंदिया पाप ने सी मेरी जीवन निरिया भजन की बोर बई हो बाजन की बोर गई अंडसवाला गिररी हरियो राम मिलन कब होय अंडसवाला गिररी हरियो राम मिलन कब होय अंडसवाला गिररी मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम। सीता हरने की यार रावण ने प्रभु जी के अगुलाए। सीता हरने की यार रावण ने प्रभु जी के अगुलाए। हनुमान ने सीता जी का प्रभु संदेश सुनाए। हनुमान जी कैसे आए, हनुमान जी कैसे आए, प्रभु जी दी गुणगान, प्रभु जी दी गुणगान। मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम। लगी लक्ष्मण जी घोषती, देख प्रभु घबराए। लगी लक्ष्मण जी घोषती, देख प्रभु घबराए। भोर से पहले हनुमान जी दौला के है आए। उस बैठे लक्ष्मण जी ले घर, उस बैठे लक्ष्मण जी ले घर। श्री राम खाना, श्री राम खाना, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम। भारत सेना देख गिरावन की सेना घबराए। भारत सेना देख गिरावन की सेना घबराई। पलक झपकली हनुमान ने लंका में आग लगाई। भारत सेना देख गिरावन की सेना घबराई। पलक झपकली हनुमान ने लंका में आग लगाई। भोल प्रभु का साथ में सागर, भोल प्रभु का साथ में सागर। रावण का अभिमान, रावण का अभिमान, मेरे मन में बसी है राम, मेरे तन में बसी है राम, मेरे मन में बसी है राम, मेरे तन में बसी है राम। चिर की जाती भोले अपने, चिर की जाती भोले अपने। पवन पुत्र हनुमान, बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान, मेरे मन में बसी है राम, मेरे तन में बसी है राम। श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम।
Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. God bless all these young people. Keep it up. You know, they say, I was reading and I love this passage. It says society moves forward when old men plant trees that they know they will never live to get shade from. They will never. I don't have to benefit from something, but I'll do it anyway. And when you give these trees a chance to shine, they're going to make the little mistake with me. Make it with me. Make it here. You're home. Struggle, learn, bend, break, do what you have to do. The day you get to shine, you'll shine good. And that is where your dharma, your bhajan, your drumming, it'll survive. But if one person is the Lord of everything, when that person close the eye, oh God, you're in trouble. How we used to do that again? And that applied to your cooking, your dressing, how to tie the sari. We cannot go down that road. Information and knowledge is supposed to be shared. This morning, let's all stand. It's a different type of discourse, the closing discourse of Krishna. And you're doing it, notice now the vibration is different. Dear Lord, we're coming closer and closer to closing our Bhagwat. But we're learning nonetheless. Please put your hands together as we want to witness the light that is about to be waved by the Murti and the Pitya. And in a way, you are asking God, please accept this light from me. I am watching. Remember, I've been harping on listening and watching prayer. These two different methods, Darshanam and Shravanam, is a different tool that you could use. This is how, when you go home and you happen to watch the television and you see the people doing the prayers, you're watching them on the television, it is still relevant and potent to give you blessings. So if I practice prayer on the new method online, if I could watch it, if I could hear it, it is still potent prayer coming from the 9 forms of devotion. Dear God, bless me as we are about to do your arati, as we get set in a little bit to read again. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grahana devesham Trailokya timidapaham.
जय जय भागवत
Everybody, let's sing together.
भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मोती बंद, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
मधुर बोल जग पंड खोल सत मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। ये मधुर बोल जग पंड खोल मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, प्रभु की महिमा रे आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय
भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है आरती।
जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
Dear Lord, as we come to the end, as we've done our last morning session of Bhagwat reading, lunchtime this evening, and we'll be finished tomorrow morning. We're doing Gita part, gift giving, and all these other activities. Prabhu, we thank you again for the opportunity to share in this type of activity, to be present, to be viewing in this type of karmic, dharmic activity. You have afforded me the opportunity to listen and learn. I'm sure different points would have resonated with different devotees. Depending on your age, depending on what you know and what you are learning, Krishna is talking to each and every person present and those of you that are viewing. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking the time, dear God, to talk to me about the demons and the troubles that I face on a day-to-day basis. I bow my head there humbly and I thank you for everything. If I made a mistake, if my mind strayed, if I didn't understand, if I rebuked or rejected your teaching, bless me to improve, bless me to do better. Forgive me for my mistake. Forgive me for being so sinful that I don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is appropriate, what is not. Bless me to improve on that. Tvameva Mata, everybody. Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Tvameva Sarvam Tvameva Sarvam Together. Om Shanti Shanti Prem se bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Umapati Mahadev ki Jai, Pavanaputra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram everybody. Sitaram everybody.